Good afternoon, everybody. And for those of you out on the West Coast, good morning to you. We are going to get started here with our webinar that's going to talk about increasing traffic for your website and also to really show you a lot of examples of how you can add effective content to your website. My name is Jamie Tumas. I'm a Director of Distributor Services here at ASI. I'm very excited to be here because we're really going to share a lot of great content and suggestions and best practices for you to create a real destination website. But not only that, we're going to give you a quick demo of ASI's new tool that we call ESP website that went live last month. So we're going to get started actually in a minute with the webinar, but just a little bit of housekeeping here. Everyone on the call is going to be on mute for the length of the call, but what we're going to do is if anyone has questions, we're going to post my email address, and also your account managers are going to get back to you within 24 hours as well. So anyone that's on board as an ASI member will be doing that for you. And we're probably going to go about 30 to 40 minutes for the content as well. And but what we're going to get started with is Jake Krolik, who's a creative director and digital guru here at ASI, is going to talk about the content. He's going to run through a presentation here. And Jake's been with us for about 6 years or so, teaches lots of classes at shows, so he knows all about this. This is one of his areas of expertise. So I'm going to hand it off to him. And then when he's done, I'm going to go through and take a quick look at the new ESP website and show you how it works, how easy it is to set it up. So hopefully we can help everyone out there build an effective website very, very quickly. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it off to Jake.
Nice. Thank you, Jamie. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jake Krolik. As a nice introduction, I am a creative director at ASI, and I guess you could call me digital guru. Today, we're going to be talking about increasing website traffic. And the title of today's class is Increasing Traffic in Just 1 Month. And a lot of the things that we're going to do today are going to show you just how to do that. So let's start off. And the goals for today's session is we're going to talk about content. Content is key, or as I would like to say, content is king. Content drives everything that we do today, and it drives all the people visiting your site. All of your site's traffic is based off of what content you have on there. So you want to make it really desirable. You want to make it really sticky. You want people to be coming back for repeat visits. And you can do that with video. You can do it with blogging. We'll touch with those two things. You can push out this content you're going to create with social media. It's a free and easy way to get your content into people's hands and then drive them back into your website. And then finally, we're going to talk about that you're going to have a website that is built for sales, a site that is easy to navigate, easy to understand, and easy to sell. So what's the most effective way for increasing traffic to a website? And as I said before, it's content. You want to offer free, original, quality content on your site. And now that content can be in a lot of different forms. You really have to go with what you feel suits your site the best. So if you are feeling like you want to write articles or white papers for your site, it could be different than someone who might want to keep a journal on there, a record of what they do each day, or in this case, if you're distributors, maybe a record of the interesting clients that you're doing. When you're working with a client that has, an interesting story, like let's say you just did something with HBO and you sold them 500,000 backpacks, and they all had an HBO logo and they had a figure coming out of it. That's a really interesting story, and that would be a good case study to put onto a website. You may want to just tell jokes. Maybe you just want to keep your site light and you want the traffic coming in to get a laugh every day. When we're talking about blogs, you want to talk about keeping consistent blogs, and that's for content. And when you talk about websites, you really should be keeping consistent content too. And what I mean by consistency is you want to post regularly. You want to make sure that you have updates going up at the very least once a week. I would say that it would be best to try to do multiple times a week or doing something that you have once a day. Now, I know everyone's busy, so it's not always easy to find that time, but keeping consistency is really key. Also, keeping consistency on content. If you do a video once a week and you switch up one week and you put up a white paper, watch what happens to your traffic. People may actually be looking for that video that they've seen every week, and they get something else and it leaves a bad taste in their mouth, and your traffic would start to fall off. So keep consistency with whatever you do. Create multimedia. Creating multimedia means you're putting out videos or photos. You're not just writing. As we know, we live in a day and age that media drives everything, and watching a video, or going out and seeing an exhibition of something is a stimulation of your senses, very similar to the promotional product. The promotional product is such a successful marketing device because it's the only type of marketing you can really tangibly hold in your hand. You can see it, you can smell it, you can taste it. The same thing works with content. You want content that excites multiple senses. So here are some ideas of how you can produce useful and unique content. I mean, it's easy to say, put up great content, but it's not always easy to do, especially finding the time. So my recommendation, what I tell everyone, is focus on what interests you. Everybody listening now has a hobby or an interest of some sort. If you're, so at night, my interest is music, so I love music. So I create content that is inspired by the music that I listen to or the concert that I go out to. And it's much easier for me to write, let's say, a marketing piece here or a campaign that has, we'll say, like a central figure that, or an image that is of someone on a guitar or something, because it's something that I'm passionate about anyway, and so I use that passion to help generate my own content. Look for angles of interest within your business. You should look for areas that you can get. You should look for areas that you can get to that are unique in your business. Let's say you have a special type of printing machine that you can use that is something that people haven't seen before. You want to make sure that you showcase that. Like I said, if you have clients that you're working with that are really interesting that you think that would make good stories, use that to generate content for your site. Showcase what you do. Showcase the work that you do. If you just found a really cool promotional product that you don't think that the industry knows much about, let people know about it. Write a little story or take pictures of it and put it up. Take a picture with it and put it up to help show either not just yourself but the size of the product. Let's say you don't feel comfortable using yourself or your company as this showcase for what you're going to be doing. You could create a persona. It's easy to do. You see personas all over the world. They're called mascots. I'm sure that we could easily say, you know, like if I think back, so we have the Olympics coming up. If you think back to when we had the Olympics in LA, the mascot in the 80s was this eagle, and he was seen everywhere, and he was kind of the representative of the Olympics then. You can do that. I know I've talked to clients before who like to associate themselves with, you know, some sort of a team or a bird or some sort of a mascot, and they use that to help showcase the products that they do, and it helps them create content. They have their character go through a series of experiences or adventures, or they have at their trade show booth, and it kind of carries over and it helps create content. You can easily hire someone or delegate these responsibilities too. There's a wonderful site called Odesk that you can find writers and content creators to help create content for you. I also recommend launching contests. Everybody loves to win something, and if you put a contest on your site asking for people to create, maybe send in a photo with them with the product that you've sold them, send it out to all your customers, or ask them to write in a testimonial, and for every testimonial to be entered to win something. Things to avoid. Don't copy from other websites. Copying from other websites is going to be killed by the search engines. As soon as you have a search engine that sees copied content, that's coming in from another site, it's really going to start to rank you lower. You want to have an editor on hand, and even if you don't have an editor on hand, have someone edit your work to avoid mistakes. You want to look for punctuation, look for spelling mistakes, just a general fact-checking too. And then again, I said this before, it's so important. For repeat visitors, you really need to provide regular updates. So for blogging is kind of, let's call it like a micro journal. It's an easy way to put up content into an area that is cataloged and put into a way that people will come back and read it over and over. Search engines love blogs. They give blogs higher rankings because they're completely packed with content. Basically, the blog is just content. And so what you should do is, if you don't have a blog, I recommend having a blog. If you take that blog, then you can actually connect it to your ESP website. So when we're doing blogs, like we had said before, I want you to be consistent when you do a blog. If you post a photo in the blog every day, then post a photo every day and keep it going. If you post an article that you wrote once a week, then just post the article once a week. But be consistent in what you're posting on the blog. It's important to use images, bold, and spacing in blogs. Don't make it too copy-heavy. Give it some white space. Let it breathe. It'll be a lot easier to read in the long run. You want to, again, proof your work. Super important to proof the work, and it'll keep you going. And then I gave a list of 5 of the most popular blog sites. WordPress and Blogger are easy, and they're free. So is Tumblr. And the last 2, which if you're not a fan of writing and you're more a visual fan, you like videos or you just like to post pictures, I would highly recommend checking out Jux or Posterius. They're both great sites. Jux is spectacular. It's easy to use, and it takes about 5 to 10 seconds a day to post a blog post on it. So it's quite easy to use. Video. Video is another wonderful aspect of content that will get people into your site, and if you do it right and you keep it going, then they'll end up returning, and they'll return to visit. And ESP websites has some very, very simple ways of integrating video directly from either YouTube or from another area that'll be really easy to use. You want to make sure that your video is informative and relevant to your site and tagged correctly. And what I mean by informative and relevant is, if you're putting up videos about cats every day and you have a promotional product site, then I hope that your promotional product site is based on cats. Like you deal with cat mugs and cat t-shirts. You want to make sure that the videos make sense to the people coming into the site. And then tagged correctly means every time you upload a video to YouTube or upload a video to Vimeo, you can tag that video. Make sure that you're tagging the video with, if it's a video about mugs, tag it with all the different types of mugs that you see, the colors of the mugs, maybe the producer who made or the supplier that made the mug. Tagging is really key. If the video is informative, relevant, and tagged correctly, you can really boost the amount of visitors, and as we say, conversions and page rankings, because you'll gain more visitors. So video excites your senses with sight and sound. It's something that, like I had said before, it's something that is not just words on a paper. It's actually a visual movement, and it to some people will help them learn or help them react much more than others. And again, ESP website makes video easy. We offer pre-selected Joe shows or supplier videos that are end buyer friendly that you can choose to go onto your site, or we can choose for you. We make it super, super easy. So we're now going to ask a poll question. And that poll question is, it's going to come up. Okay, the poll's open, so feel free to vote. It feels like we should have some poll music right here. Okay, voting's almost closed. Get your voting in now. 5 seconds. And the poll's closed. And back into the presentation. So, we've created content, we've done blogs, we've done video. Now, how do we push out that content and drive people back to the site? Because if you just put up your, let's just say you built these great videos and you have a blog connected to your site, how is anyone going to know that you did that unless you publicize it? And so how are we going to publicize all of this? We're going to use social media. It's free, it's easy, and it's our bait, so to speak. We're going to put some bait out in the water, and we're going to let, as we would say, the fish or our customers, whoever we want to visit, the traffic folk, come in and start to nibble on this bait. And once they nibble on it, you're going to link your website to the bait, and they're going to bite then. And once they bite, they're going to visit your site. And when they visit your site, they're going to see that you have all this great content that you regularly refresh, and they're going to want to come visit, and then hence you're increasing your traffic. So when we talk about social, I put up the big sites: Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, Vimeo, Flickr, LinkedIn. These are all big social websites. YouTube and Vimeo relate to video. Flickr relates to photos. LinkedIn relates to your working career. Twitter is like a microblog, which is a 144 count or message that you're going to send out to people. And Facebook is your, let's just say it's your life that's shared with other people. Now, the last one, which I've saved the best for last because it's getting incredible traffic right now, believe it or not, that Pinterest is rivaling Twitter on the amount of traffic that's going on. Pinterest is like a virtual pin board where you are able to say that you really like this thing on the internet, and you pin it to your board, and then other people come and they say, ooh, I like that thing as well, and they can share it, or they can pin it to their own board, or they can send it on. The nice thing about Pinterest is it's all about stuff versus Facebook, which is all about you, and Twitter, which is all about you. Pinterest is all about things. It's much more about articles and items and pictures and things, actual things themselves, and less about you. And if you think about the industry that we work in an industry that is all about tangible items. And so Pinterest is a great way to start to showcase new items to people, because you're showcasing them something that you're going to pin to your board. And not only are you going to showcase them, you're going to give them a case study. You're going to tell them why it's good, why this is good. And this is content that people will end up sharing, and then you're going to drive them back to your site. Because when they click on that Pinterest piece that you have a little case study with, it's going to send them back to your website. Anytime you post on any social site, you want to post more than just work. So there's a balance. The balance should be about 60-40. 60% of the time, it should not be about work. 40% of the time, it should. If you want to drive consistent traffic, don't bore them by always posting the same piece of work every time. You want to share something that's a little bit more personal and open yourself up a little bit, which is not always comfortable with certain people. And so you kind of have to figure out which type of social media will fit best with you. And also, to keep things going and to consistently gain traffic, it's not all about you. Make sure you get involved in some of the things that other people are doing. You want to follow other people, join conversations. You want to tweet or retweet their conversations. You want to repin the stuff that they get. When people see that you're not just talking about you, that you're an active participant in a social site, which means you're having an active conversation, then they're much more likely to post the stuff that you want sent around from their stuff as well. So videos from YouTube and other sites are appearing on, since Google purchased YouTube a few years ago, they appear in Google search results first. If you're not making videos and posting them on YouTube, then your competitors are. And those spots that could have gotten higher page rankings on Google could be linking back to your site, won't. They'll be going to your competitors. So I highly recommend that you're making videos and having them hosted on YouTube as well, and then ultimately you'll have them hosted on ESP website, on your ESP website. Your LinkedIn profile works the same way. Google pushes LinkedIn profiles up high on Google search results. If you have a company of employees right now and you're not all, if you don't all have a LinkedIn account, I would recommend that you make sure everyone gets one and has their profiles posted, not because they are looking for jobs, but because you're showcasing the talent that you have in your company, but it's also connected. Each person that works for you is connected back to your company and has, if they're connected to your company, has your website connected to them. That connection between social media and websites is often neglected by businesses. And when you think about, if most people are familiar with Facebook, if you think about the last month's work in Facebook, if you think about the posts that you've put up, if you've ever posted something that's work-related, have you ever posted your website URL? You want to make sure to post your website URL as much as possible. It's not an every time post, but make sure if you're posting work, make sure you're always directing people back to your website. Before I get into the last bullet about visitors working for desired content and link baiting, the beginning of that statement is saying make visitors work for desired content. What you should do is start teasing people, posting things on social media that you would have hosted on your website. So let's say you're really proud of a video series you've done. Post the first video up on Facebook or tweet it, or on Pinterest. Put that video up first without making people go into your website to get it. Don't make them click that first time. But if you see that it's getting a good reaction, then have the next time you post it, tease the video on your Facebook page, driving them back into your website. Then you'll start to create a pattern of, wow, this person not only posts good things to social media, but they have a great website, so I'm going to visit it more often. So moving on, so link baiting is a term. It's when you basically, when you're putting out a piece of content that is so desirable on the web that people want to share it across the web. And these are really in the form of funny outside-the-box videos, top 10 lists, sometimes free samples, giveaways. You may have heard of things like there was a popular show on television called Mad Men, and they had a kind of a little microsite they did called Mad Men Yourself. There was an Elf Yourself. There's something called DrawAStickman.com. There was some famous wedding dance entrance videos. HubSpot does website grading tools for free. These are all things that once someone finds them, they pass them on. It gets passed from one person to another person. And it's kind of the, you may have heard of a term called viral marketing. This is the idea behind viral marketing, is that something is so desirable, it gets passed from one person to the next to the next. Link baiting is not an easy thing to do. You really want to think about the content that you put together. Is it timely? Does it relate to the world around you? Will it make people laugh? Is it something that people can't live without? If you hit one of those areas, there's a really good chance that your link will spread, and guess where that link links back to? That piece of content that you created is housed on your website. So that's my section of today. I'm going to pass you guys back to Jamie, and he is going to take over and talk about ESP websites and all the wonderful solutions. So thank you all for your time. Jamie.
Jake, thanks very much. That was really great, because I talk to distributors every day as an account manager here at ASI. And a lot of times we're talking about how do you build more business on the web, how do you drive more traffic, how do you just make more of a destination for your customers. And so there's a lot of suggestions there that I will happily share with a lot of people. And so some of you out there, you might have a website right now, you might not. You might have a placeholder, a home page, maybe even have an online catalog. And so what I'm going to show right now is ASI's latest product. that's a website that you can have as an ASI distributor to really build business. And so some of you may have heard of a Logo Mall. In fact, you might even have a Logo Mall website. If you have a Logo Mall website, that's our old version of this. This would be a free upgrade to you to an ESP website. And if you don't have an ESP website, then this is something, it's so customizable, it's so easy to add pretty much immediately. Literally in a day, you can have a nice, robust, feature-filled website that you'll be proud to send your customers to. So I'm going to give you a demo of that right here. So what we're looking at here is a site that we built for a fictional company we call Blue Bolt Promotions. And this site does a nice job of showing off a lot of the features that you can have on your website. And that's the great thing when you're building this, and we can even help you with that. You can turn on a lot of features and turn them off, so you really get a good sense of what you can do with your website. So as I scroll down the screen here, I'm going to show you some of these features. So the first thing you'll notice is an ad banner here, and there's a lot of things you can do with this. You can actually create your own customized ads to get your customers' attention. You can use some ASI-created ads as well that you're seeing right here to show off different product lines. You can even use a supplier-created ad if there's a specific product line that you want to show off. But again, a lot of these features are to get your customers' attention and to motivate them to make a purchase. If I keep scrolling down, you're going to see a product search. We're going to pretend we're one of your customers on this website and do a search here in a second. But there's other features here, and I'm going to come back to these in a minute and speak more to those. But let's pretend we're a customer. We've come into this ESP website, and I'm going to do a quick product search here. And I'm going to show off a travel mug. And so I did a travel mug search here, and so you can see the built-in database. We have nearly 400,000 products built into this database. We maintain that every day so you don't have to. And this is covering every category out in the whole ASI database. You can see with all those products, we got almost 3,500 travel mugs here. But the good thing is you have these categories here on the left. And this is how your customer can not only narrow their search down, but I think by clicking on some of these categories, they really get to learn a lot more about the breadth of product that you have for them as a distributor, and they can really find some creative solutions here pretty quickly. And one of the great new features of the website is what we call a virtual sample, and that's where your customer can actually go in, upload their logo right onto a product on your website, and that's not only going to hopefully help them be motivated to make a purchase, but it's going to keep them coming back to your website when they know they can come in here and see their logo and what it looks like on some products. In fact, I'm going to click on this virtual samples ready category here, and we're going to narrow this down a little bit. The only product that are virtual sample ready as of right now. We're kind of making our way through the whole database. Eventually, all of the product will be virtual sample ready. And so I'm going to open up one of these beautiful travel mugs here. How about I click on this one? So you can see the details page here for this item. And, to one of Jake's suggestions, there's a lot of links you're going to see to the social websites like Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. There's even an option for your customer to send an email for this product out. And someone brought up last week at the Chicago show a great thought. If someone comes into the website, they see a really cool product, they can email it to their buyer to make a purchase of this item. And I thought that was a pretty great function. But all the pertinent product and imprint information is here in one place. The retail price for that item is posted right there. And as you can see here, we've got this option to create a virtual sample. I'm going to go down this path right now just to show you how quick and easy this is. We actually partnered with Adobe last year. They're one of the big players in this software. And so it's very quick and easy. I'm going to click Upload a New Logo. I'm going to grab a nice-looking HP logo. So you'll see within a couple of seconds, that logo is going to appear right on my steel travel mug here. Usually it's a couple of seconds. And when it's there, I can actually move it around a little bit right on the item. But keep in mind, this is only going to show up right in the place where it's supposed to be on that item. We've manipulated all these images to make sure that it's in the correct place. And it looks like my connection's a little bit slow, and if this doesn't happen quickly, then I'll try something else. There we go. Okay, so there's my logo. And as you can see, I can quickly make it a little bit smaller, make sure it goes in the right place. And now you can see what it looks like. So the other thing, too, I won't show it to you right now, is if your customer doesn't have a logo, maybe they have a slogan or they want to just put their company title, they can actually type it in this text box right here, upload it, and the same thing will happen. It will show up right on the product. And the great thing is, too, when your customer saves the logo on the item, now it's going to be saved on every virtual sample ready product. So as they're shopping through and they open up any other item that's ready for the virtual sample, they'll see their logo right there, which is going to hopefully, again, motivate them to make a purchase. And I won't go through the whole purchase process, but what you can do now, it has a real e-commerce transaction option in the shopping cart. You can take credit cards in the cart. You can take payments via PayPal as well. So you've got a lot of nice options there. And there's things you can customize throughout the whole purchase, including in the shopping cart as well. And as I jump back to the home page here, just to point out a few extra features, Jake talked a lot about content. And so that's what I'm going to focus on here for a minute, because we really help you with this. If you don't want to spend a whole lot of time producing the content for your site, we can put on things like the product of the day. It's a nice feature here. Every single day, a fresh product showing up there. And to his point also about search engine optimization and getting higher visibility, by having fresh content in here frequently, you're going to get show up higher in the search engine result. See more links to the social websites there. We also have this featured product set. There's about 50 different categories you can choose from, and you can even set this up so that it'll switch out periodically. Maybe you want to show summer products for the next week, and then switch over to back to school. You can do that very quickly and easily. Video, another thing that Jake mentioned, you can grab any video off of YouTube or use any of the hundreds of ASI-created videos as well. Literally takes about 60 seconds to drop a new video on your homepage. Here's some of the other places in this particular template where you can drop a lot of content about your company, your customer service, your whatever you want, your history, fulfillment, anything you want to, right there, and that's just in this one particular template. If you have a storefront and you want people to find you, drop a Google Maps feature right there to help people find your front door. And if you don't have a storefront, maybe you work out of your basement, you don't want anyone to find you, you can turn that feature off, and that's very easy to do. And another little feature here to generate some email addresses from your customers is our newsletter feature. Anyone who signs up for this will get an email from us monthly with a lot of great ideas on how they can use promotional products to build their business. So I mentioned, and actually one other quick thing about the features here on the site. There's a lot of things. I won't cover all of them right now, but two others worth mentioning are coupons and discount codes. And so this, again, is really more content to motivate your customers. The discount code especially. So if you start to do some marketing, maybe you're sending out an email to all of your customers, drop a discount code on there. You can create a customized code that might say give your customers $50 off any order of $500 or more. And that way, again, it's motivating people to come in and view the rest of your website. So that's a real quick look at the website itself. And keep in mind, as I said earlier, if you have a Logo Mall site with us right now, this is a free upgrade for you. And in a second, we're going to do another poll. And also, if you don't have a site with us right now, the ESP website is $60 per month. And so the other thing, too, as a little incentive to have people sign up today, we'll actually give you a free second website if you sign up here today at the show. In fact, we're going to be contacting you. But we're going to post the poll right now. So if you take a look at your screen here, in fact, I think we're posting it right now. So take a look at that. Let us know what your interest level is for the website. And I'll give you a minute to complete that poll. But keep in mind, we'll give you the free second website if you sign up for it today. And what you might be asking, what the heck can I do with a second website? And so there's a lot of things you can do with it. Two good examples are if you have a big customer, maybe that buys from you frequently or you're hoping is going to buy from you frequently, we'll build you a second site that you can focus on that customer, product focused on them, and so it's really a gateway for them to come in and see the product that you have. The second option could be if you're going after a specific category of customers. Maybe you want to sell to schools a lot more. You can actually create a school-targeted website and use all the features that you see on the ESP website. So thanks so much for participating in the poll. Also, too, just to let everyone know, I mean, if you want to contact me directly, I'll give you my email address, and that is jtumas at asicentral.com. That's JTU, M as in Mary, A, S as in Sam, at asicentral.com. In fact, we've also got, I'm going to switch back to our slide here, and there's some helpful information about contacting us here at ASI. And also your account managers will be getting in touch with you usually within about 24 hours if you've participated in the call to see if you have any questions, to follow up, and maybe even show you some other features on the website if you want to see them. So, but I greatly appreciate everyone's attendance here. I know everyone's busy out there and it's valuable time, but hopefully this was good, productive time for you. I'm very confident we can really help you build business very, very quickly with an ESP website. So please let us know. We can get that going for you very, very quickly. And again, thanks again for your attendance, and everyone have a good afternoon.